Hello students, in previous class we already discussed about what is Lorentz force, how a moving charge gets affected when it's moved under the action of both electric and magnetic field. So today we are going to discuss about another new concept, or I already told about this one, that a moving charge can also create a magnetic field. Clear? How? We already studied about the Biot-Savart's law. What is Biot-Savart's law? Tells us if there is a current carrying conductor which carries current I, and here is a point of observation P, and we are considering a small current carrying element of length dl carrying current I, and the direction of this current carrying element, as I already told, that it's always tangent to the current carrying conductor. This will be the direction of dl idl vector, and the position vector of the point of observation is r with respect to the current carrying element, where the angle between the position vector and the current carrying element direction will be theta. Then the magnetic field strength due to this current carrying element at the point of observation P will be how much? The dB vector will be given as mu naught by 4 pi I into dl vector cross r vector whole divided by r vector mod q. This is the expression for magnetic field strength at point P due to this current carrying element. If we are considering the complete current carrying conductor, we have to integrate this. Okay, from 0 to the maximum strength B, and from here the dl is variable, the current carrying element will 0 to the maximum length of the current carrying conductor L. Okay. What is dl? This is the direction of the current carrying element. R is the direction or position vector of the point of observation with respect to the current carrying element, and I is the current flowing through the conductor, and mu naught is the permeability of the free space within which the current carrying conductor is placed. So from this given equation, let it be equation 1, we can easily derive that the I current flowing through the conductor can be written as the total rate of flow of charge through the current carrying conductor dq by dt. We already know I equal to the rate of flow of charge in the conductor. So here I can replace this I with dq by dt. So this implies we can easily write the dB vector will be how much? Mu naught by 4 pi. In place of I can write dq by dt into dl vector cross r vector whole divided by r vector mod q. Now taking this dt into the bracket, it will become how much? Mu naught by 4 pi into dq. Taking dt inside, it is dl vector by dt cross r vector divided by r vector mod q. So this will become how much? Mu naught by 4 pi dq. What is dl by dt? dl is the length of this current carrying element, and it is changes with respect to time. That means the distance covered by the charge in time dt is dl d. So dl by dt will be the speed or velocity of the moving charge into r vector whole divided by r vector mod q. So this will be the expression for magnetic field strength of a charge dq, which is moving with velocity v, and r is the position vector of the point of observation with respect to the charge dq. Clear? So this is how the magnetic field strength is produced by a moving charge. That means if a charge is moving with certain velocity, it can able to produce a magnetic field surrounding it, and the expression for the magnetic field strength is this one. And we can easily determine the direction of the magnetic field strength by the cross product of velocity vector and position vector using right hand thumb rule or right hand palm rule. If I am placing the thumb along the direction of v velocity vector and stretching the right hand fingers along the direction of position vector, then the direction of palm will shows the magnetic field strength at the position observed position. Or if we crawl the finger of the right hand along the direction of v vector to r vector, that is v cross r, then the direction of thumb will show what? The magnetic field strength. For example, if here is a charge q and it is moving along this direction v, and here is a point of observation P. So I have to find out the magnetic field strength at point P. I am stretching my thumb along the direction of V and the fingers of the right hand along the direction of position vector, then the direction of palm, that is into the plane, will show the magnetic field strength using right hand palm rule. Or else if I am crawling my finger from V to R, this is R vector, V cross R, like this, the thumb is inward, so the magnetic field strength at point P will be into the plane. Clear? Similarly, if a charged particle Q is moving inward, okay, if a charged particle Q is moving inward and here is a point of observation P, then what is the magnetic field strength at the point of observation P with respect to charge? The position vector of point P is R. So I am stretching my thumb along the direction of V. V is inward like this, and the finger of my right hand along the direction of position vector P like this. So the palm will show along this direction. So magnetic field at point P will be along this direction. Or if I am crawling my finger from B cross R, B is into the plane like this and R is along this. So I am crawling like this. So the thumb will show the direction of magnetic field. So accordingly, we can find out also using the right hand palm rule or thumb rule to find out the magnetic field strength due to a moving charge. Clear? So this is how we can calculate the magnetic field strength produced due to a charge in motion. So now let's discuss that, as we already know that there are large number of free electrons inside a atom. Those are revolving in a specific orbit with certain velocity, that is orbital velocity of the free electrons. So as a electron is revolving around the nucleus in a particular orbit, this electron or the orbit that move in which it is moving is behave as a magnetic dipole. Okay, so how a moving electron in an orbit is behaves as a magnetic dipole? If it is behaves as a magnetic dipole, then what will be the magnetic dipole moment of a moving electron in an orbit? Let us calculate about the magnetic dipole moment of unmoving electron in an orbit, that is known as Bohr magneton. So what is Bohr magneton? So first let's consider an circular orbital path. Okay, this is a circular orbital path. O be the center of the orbit, okay, and R be the radius of the orbital path. This is R, radius of the orbital path. Okay, and free electron. Here is a free electron minus E, which is moving along the circular orbital path with speed or velocity V. Clear? So this is a circular orbital path of radius R in which a free electron is revolving with velocity V. So what is the amount of current flowing through this orbit? As an electron is moving along the circular path and it's continue its revolution or cyclic motion or uniform circular motion along this orbital path, then this single charge can also able to produce a current along this orbital path. As what is current? Current is the rate of flow of charge. So by depending upon its speed, in how much time the electron can able to complete this circular path in 1 second will define its amount of current. Okay, so what is the amount of current flowing through this circular orbital path? So as here is a electron which is revolving in a circular orbital path of radius R with velocity V. So what will be the time period of the orbital of the free electron? As here is the velocity V, so the speed will be how much? V mod equal to speed of the electron, free electron. Okay, and the total distance have to covered by the free electron is 2 pi r is the total distance. Clear? So the time period of the electron is what? What is time period? The time period is the total time required to complete a single cycle by the free electron. So the time period of free electron is equal to how much? The total distance, that is 2 pi r divided by the speed of the free electron, that is v. This will be the time period t of the free electron. What is the charge carried by a free electron? Is E. So what is current? So current through the orbital path I will be total charge by total time t. This implies I equal to how much? Total charge is E divided by total time is time period, because in one time period the electron will complete the path. So this implies we can write I equal to, what is E by T will be E into F. What is F? Here F equal to frequency of electron. So we can write the current flowing through the circular orbital path is E by time period or E into frequency, or else as we know frequency will be 2 pi omega by 2 pi. Frequency is equal to how much? Omega by 2 pi, or 2 pi f equal to omega. Omega is your angular frequency, this is linear frequency, or this is the angular velocity, this is frequency. Frequency is the total number of cycles for 1 second is known as frequency. So f equal can be written as omega by 2 pi. Omega is the angular frequency or the angular velocity of the free electron. So by replacing f as omega by 2 pi, we will also get the current I flowing through the circular orbital will be E omega by 2 pi. Clear? So here we can able to calculate the current flowing through the orbit due to a single electron which is revolving around it with velocity v is E by T, or this can be E into frequency, or I equal to E into omega by 2 pi. You can easily remember these formulas to find out the current flowing through a circular orbit. So as I current is flowing through this circular orbit is this much. Clear? So from this we can conclude that a circular orbit which is carrying a free electron which is revolving around it with velocity v, it behaves as a current carrying coil in which the value of current is this much. So if as the circular orbit behaves as a circular current carrying coil in which the current is opposite to the direction of motion of the electron, if electron is revolving like this, current will be move opposite to it. Clear? So if it is a current carrying coil, as we already discussed, a circular current carrying coil, it behaves as a magnetic dipole. Clear? And the south pole and north pole of the dipole will be obtained by the direction of current. If current is moving like this, I am crawling my finger along the direction of current, then the thumb will show what? The direction of north pole. If current is moving like this, the magnetic field will be coming out from the inward to outward. So the inward will be the north pole and the outward surface will act as south pole for the bar magnet for which the current carrying loop behaves as a dipole. Clear? So here as the circular orbit carries a current I equal to this much, so it also behaves as a magnetic dipole. And what is the dipole moment formula? If a current I is flowing through a coil, then the dipole moment is how much we already discussed. The dipole moment is given as the M vector equal to I into A vector. What is A? Here A vector equal to area vector of the current carrying coil, or simply the magnitude will be how much? I into A, current flowing through the current carrying coil into area, cross sectional area of the coil. So here the orbit is of radius r. So the magnetic dipole moment M will be I into the area of the orbital path, that is pi r square. What is I? I can be E omega by 2 pi. Clear? Or here we can write, if it is I equal to E by T. What is T? You already write here, T equal to 2 pi r by v. The total distance by velocity is also time period. So this implies, from this we can write I equal to E divided by, in place of T you can write 2 pi r, v will take out. It also another expression for current. So here, using the value of I at this point, we can find out the magnetic dipole moment M equal to, in place of I can write EV by 2 pi r into pi r square. So this can be written as here pi r will get cancelled. So this implies the magnetic dipole moment M equal to E V r divided by 2. Clear? Okay, let it be equation 5. But we know the angular momentum of a particle of mass M in a circular path of radius r is, or simply the angular momentum of a particle of mass M can be given as L equal to mv/r. What is the mass of the particle? V is the speed of the particle and r is the moment arm about which we are calculating the angular momentum of the particle. So here, as electron is revolving around a circular path, so electron has a mass me, mass of an electron. So this particle of mass me is revolving around a circular path with velocity v. So what is the angular momentum of this electron about the center of the orbital path O is how much? The angular momentum of the electron will be me into v into r, or in vector form we can, the angular momentum vector equal to me into r vector cross v vector. Clear? So this is the angular momentum. So here we can get the angular momentum by multiplying me and dividing me le, angular momentum will me v r. So if I am multiplying here ame and dividing here with me, so me v r, this much will become how much? The angular momentum le. So this can be written as the magnetic dipole moment M equal to the angular momentum L of electron E into E divided by 2me. So from this we can write the magnetic dipole moment divided by angular momentum Le will be 1 by 2 into E by me. Clear? This is a constant, because charge of electron is constant, mass of electron is constant, half is constant. So the ratio of magnetic dipole moment with respect to angular momentum of a free electron in an orbital path is half the charge of the electron divided by mass of the electron, which gives us a constant value which is nearly equal to 8.8 into 10 to the power 10. The unit of charge is coulomb divided by mass is kg. Clear? So this is equal to 8.8 into 10 to the power 10 coulomb per kg. This is known as gyromagnetic ratio. This m by e is this much, which is known as gyromagnetic ratio. and this is a very important relation. This is not valid for a free electron. This is also this relation, the ratio of dipole moment to the angular momentum, it gives us half E by me. This E by me is known as specific charge. This particular value E by me into 1 by 2 equal to m by Le is known as gyromagnetic ratio. But the relation, the ratio of magnetic dipole moment with respect to angular momentum is equal to half into charge by mass of any particle. It's same. Okay, in general this is a particular case for a free electron whose value is this much, because the specific charge is constant for a electron. Mass of charge of electron and charge of electron is fixed. So this particular ratio is known as gyromagnetic ratio, whose value is 8.8 into 10 to the 10 coulomb per kg. But in general, you have to remember this relation, but in general the ratio of magnetic dipole moment with angular momentum of any object will be equal to half into the total charge carried by that substance divided by total mass of that substance. This is a very important relation you have to remember, because by using this relation we can easily find out the magnetic dipole moment of any substance whose angular momentum is known to us. Clear? This is a universal relation. That means the ratio of magnetic dipole moment with respect to angular momentum is half of total charge of that substance divided by mass. Here L is angular momentum, of the substance, m equal to magnetic dipole moment, of the substance, q total charge of the substance, and m equal to mass of the substance. Okay, you have to remember this relation. It is a very important relation. You can solve a very interesting numericals regarding the calculation of magnetic dipole moment of any object whose angular momentum is given. Clear? So this is the gyromagnetic ratio, but this is the general relation between the magnetic dipole moment and angular momentum. Clear? Then, according to Bohr quantization of angular momentum, we know the total angular momentum of an orbit equal to mvr equal to nh by 2 pi is quantized. What is n? This is the principal quantum number of the orbit. H is Planck's constant, and we know 2 pi. Clear? This is equal to L. So from this, if n equal to 1 and h, the value of Planck's constant, is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and the value of pi is 3.14. Clear? So if I am placing L here, so m divided by nh by 2 pi in place of L, I can write in this equation nh by 2 pi is equal to half into E by me. Okay, so from this I can write that magnetic dipole moment m equal to 1 by 2 into E by me into nh by 2 pi equal to the magnetic dipole moment. And what is n? Is 1, h is Planck's constant having this much value, pi is this one. What is E? E equal to 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb, and Me, mass of electron, is 9.1 into 10 to the minus 31 kg. So by replacing all these values at this place and solving it, we will get the magnetic dipole moment of a free electron moving in a circular orbit is 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 ampere meter square. Clear? This is the magnetic dipole moment of a free electron moving in a circular orbit. It is 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 24 ampere meter square. The magnetic dipole moment of a free electron revolving in a circular orbit, which is known as Bohr magneton, and it shows that a single electron moving in a circular orbital path behaves as a magnetic dipole having dipole moment this much. This is constant, and this ratio of a free electron is known as what? 8.8 into 10 to the 10 coulomb per kg is known as gyromagnetic ratio. But this relation is constant for a free electron, but it can be applicable for any general substance having charge and mass. Okay. So this is how a moving electron can behave as a magnetic dipole in a circular orbital path, and here the electronic charge is negative, so the magnetic dipole moment in vector form will be negative, and this is the angular momentum. So in vector form we can write the magnetic dipole moment is equal to minus of half E by me into the angular momentum vector. Okay. This is in vector form, the dipole moment of a free charge moving in a circular orbital path. Clear? This concept is known as Bohr magneton, where the magnetic dipole moment of the circular path in which a free electron is moving is this much, and the ratio of specific charge into half, which is the magnetic dipole moment of the free electron with respect to angular momentum of the free electron, is known as gyromagnetic ratio, and the value is 8.8 into 10 to the 10 coulomb per kg. Clear? So now let's discuss some interesting numericals which is based upon this relation. Okay, so this is how a free electron moving in a circular orbital path behave as a magnetic dipole. Clear? And a moving charge can able to produce a magnetic field strength. Clear? So as here is a question, if it's a disk, okay, total, this is a complete disk, this is the axis which is passing through its center. Okay, it's a circular disk like this. Okay, of radius, this is the center O, and this is the radius of the disk R. Okay, total charge carried by this disk is Q, and mass of the disk is M. Okay, this is a circular disk of radius R which carries net charge Q, and the mass of the disk is M, and it is revolving around the axis with angular velocity omega. Clear? It is a disk of radius R whose charge is total charge spread over the disk is Q, and mass of the disk is M, and is revolving around the axis with angular velocity omega. Then the question is, find the magnetic dipole moment of the disk. As the disk carries charge and it rotates with omega, then all the charge are moving, revolving around this axis with omega. Then all the charge are able to produce current. So if the complete disk is able to produce current, then it must behave as a current carrying conductor or as a magnetic dipole. Then what will be its magnetic dipole moment? So as previously we already discussed here that the ratio of magnetic dipole moment by angular momentum is half into total charge by total mass of the body. So here what is the magnetic dipole moment? M equal to half into total charge by total mass into angular momentum of the body. So as this is a circular disc of radius r which is rotating about its axis, which is passing through its center of mass and perpendicular to its plane. So the formula for angular momentum I equal to, we can write I into omega. You already know, studied about this, the angular momentum equal to the moment of inertia into angular velocity, where here I is not current, I equal to moment of inertia. Clear? So how to calculate the angular momentum? L equal to moment of inertia of the disk. What is the moment of inertia of a disk about this axis which is passing through its center of mass and perpendicular to its plane? That is mr square by 2. M is mass, r is radius by 2 into omega. This will be the value of angular momentum of the disk. So the magnetic dipole moment M will become how much? Half charge of the disk divided mass of the disk into angular momentum, that is mr square by 2 into omega. M will get cancelled. So the magnetic dipole moment will be 1 by 4 q r square omega. This is the expression for magnetic dipole moment of the disk. So this is how we can able to calculate the magnetic dipole moment by using this relation. Clear? You can easily find out the magnetic dipole moment of any object. Clear? Okay.